the most decorated American Winter Olympic athlete of all time, having won 8 medals from speed skating. In his book, Zero Regrets, he presents a philosophy about life that has inspired many people, including me. Following are excerpts from his book that represent the idea of living with the champion mindset, and as the title suggests, having no regrets in the end. It is not successes I've had on and off the ice, at the Olympic Games and beyond, that I most appreciate. It is a journey I've undertaken, carrying this idea in my heart and my soul. My path in life is my own. Zero regrets. It's a philosophy, not just about sport, but about life. School, business, academics, love, anything and everything. Life is about making the most of it while we can, because we can. It's complicated and yet not. You have to figure out who it is you want to be, not what you want to be. Who? There has to be a vision, a dream, a plan, and then you chase that with everything you've got. I didn't ever want to be complacent. I didn't want to look back and think, yes, that was good enough. So this is what I would say to myself when I would lie down in bed at night. Zero regrets. I would think it. I would even say it out loud to myself. This is what I would say when I was hammering out miles on the treadmill. No regrets. This is what I would say when I was in the weight room. Absolutely zero regrets. I knew to a certainty that if I pushed too hard on the treadmill, I would suffer for it the next day. Maybe I would be almost too tired on the ice. So I would say to myself, forget about tomorrow. What if today were the last day of training you could be remembered for? What if this particular run I was doing on the treadmill right now, was the last one I would be remembered for? That's how I trained. That's how I approached it. This path in the pursuit of victory within the Olympic Games was one that I took on occasion to the utmost extreme. In the past, I may have faltered, taken a misstep, even taken a step back. But for me, that was not an option if I were to become stronger than I ever thought possible. Such strength did not come from my physical self, but instead started within the depths of my mind. That severe shift in mental approach is so incredibly important in creating victory, regardless of winning. After all, what does winning mean? What does becoming a champion mean? What does that truly mean? Crossing the line first? That's part of it, absolutely. That's why we're crowned a champion. But for me, and especially with respect to the Olympic Games, and thus by the extension to the goals and dreams each of us has in all areas of life, winning connotes something very different. It means the display of winning qualities in a championship mindset. It means effort, emotion, and sportsmanship. It's that never give up, never say die mentality. Nikos Kazantzakis, one of the greatest philosophers and writers of the 20th century, once offered a thought that resonates so powerfully because it illuminates an essential truth, not only about sports, but about life itself. He said, "You should not ask if you will succeed or not. That isn't what matters most. The only thing that matters is your struggle to carry it further." Indeed, we should not ask if we are going to win or lose. That is not an answer we can know beforehand. Instead, it is simply to do our best in everything and anything. I pass a poster in my school several times a day. It's a quote by James Baldwin that says, "Those who say it can't be done are usually interrupted by others doing it." This quote supports a yes we can mentality, to look past our fear of failure and to measure so we can measure up to our true potential. My next selection by poet Marianne Williamson, titled Our Deepest Fear, mirrors this personal creed. Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not in just some of us. It's in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people the permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. For my final selection, I was drawn to a person who has been hailed by some as the greatest speaker of the 21st century. His presence inspired our country that has always been racially divided to elect the first African-American U.S. president in history. After 8 years in office, Obama delivers his farewell address to the nation with zero regrets and an optimistic mindset for the future. My fellow Americans, after 8 years as your president, I still believe that change only happens when ordinary people get involved. It's the beating heart of our American idea our bold experiment in self-government. It's a conviction that we are all created equal, endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, among them life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That we, the people, through the instrument of our democracy, can form a more perfect union. This is the great gift our founders gave us. The freedom to chase our individual dreams through our sweat, toil, and imagination, and the imperative to strive together as well, to achieve a greater good. America is exceptional. Not that our nation has been flawless from the start, but we have shown the capacity to change and make life better for those who follow. Yes, the world of democracy has always been hard, contentious, and sometimes bloody. But for every 2 steps forward, it often feels we take 1 step back. But for all the real progress we've made, we know it's not enough. For if we don't create equal opportunity for all people, the disaffection and division that has stalled our progress will only sharpen in years to come. All of us has more work to do. Going forward, we must uphold laws against discrimination. Hearts must change. If our democracy is to work in this increasingly diverse nation, each one of us must try to heed the advice of one of the greatest characters in American fiction, Atticus Finch, who said, "You never really understand a person till you consider things from his point of view, until you climb into his skin and walk around in it." Ultimately, that's what our democracy demands. It needs you. Show up, dive in, persevere. Sometimes you'll win and sometimes you'll lose. And more often than not, your faith in America and in Americans will be confirmed. And to all of you out there, every organizer who moved to an unfamiliar town, and kind family who welcomed them in, every volunteer who knocked on doors, every young person who cast a ballot for the very first time, every American who lived and breathed the hard work of change, you are the best supporters and organizers anyone could hope for, and I will forever be grateful. Because yes, you changed the world. That's why I leave the stage tonight even more optimistic about this country than I was from where we started. Because I know our work has not only helped so many Americans, it has inspired so many Americans, especially so many young people out there, to believe you can make a difference, hitch your wagon onto something bigger than yourselves. This generation coming up, unselfish, altruistic, patriotic, I've seen you in every corner of the country. You believe in a fair, just, inclusive America. You know that constant change has been America's hallmark, something not to fear, but to embrace, and you are willing to carry this hard work of democracy forward. You'll soon outnumber any of us, and I believe as a result that the future is in good hands. My fellow Americans, it has been the honor of my life to serve you. I won't stop, in fact, I'll be right there with you as a citizen for all that my days remain. For now, whether you're young or young at heart, I do have one final ask of you as your president. The same thing I asked when you took a chance on me 8 years ago. I'm asking you to believe, not in my ability to bring about change, but yours. I'm asking you to hold fast to that faith written in our founding documents, a creed at the core of every American whose story is not yet written. Yes, we can. Yes, we did. Yes, we can.